You know that feeling, the one where your heart is heavy, not because something terrible happened but because nothing really happened at all. Not a fight, not a breakup, not even a clear answer. Just silence. Just waiting. Just hoping that this time when they text back it'll feel different. That this time the words will carry weight. That their voice will sound sure. That their hands won't hesitate when they reach for yours. But they do. They always do. And you're left standing in the quiet aftermath of another near miss, another version of I want to, but. And you start to wonder, not for the first time, if you're asking too much just to be chosen. You're not. You deserve better than confusion. You deserve better than breadcrumbs. Those tiny, fleeting moments of attention that keep you hooked. Just enough to stay, but never enough to feel secure. You don't need someone who shows up when it's convenient, who calls when they're lonely, who kisses you like they mean it but acts like they don't the next day. You need someone who chooses you. Not in whispers, not in passing thoughts, not in late-night texts that vanish by morning, but out loud with their life, with their actions, with their consistency. You need someone who doesn't make you question whether you matter, because their love leaves no room for doubt. And I know it's hard to believe that when right now all you feel is tired. Tired of decoding messages. Tired of wondering if you're too much or not enough. Tired of loving someone who treats your heart like an option. But here's the truth they never tell you. The moment you stop begging to be prioritized is the moment you become unshakable. The moment you say, I won't live in the shadows of someone else's indecision, is the moment you step into your power. Because love shouldn't be a puzzle. It shouldn't be something you have to interpret or earn or perform for. Real love is simple, it shows up. Says. It doesn't disappear when things get real. It doesn't make you feel like you're too much when you ask for honesty, or too needy when you ask for time, or too intense when you say, I want to know where I stand. Those aren't demands, they're basic human needs. And if someone can't meet them, they don't get to keep your heart. You deserve better than half-truths. Better than the stories they tell you to soften the blow of their disinterest. I'm just not ready. I don't want to hurt you. You're amazing, it's me. We've all heard them. We've all believed them, even when our gut screamed otherwise. But here's what those phrases really mean. I don't want to do the work. I'm choosing myself, but only when it's easy. I like you, but not enough to be brave. And that's not your failure. That's theirs. You deserve someone who doesn't make you question them. Someone whose actions are so steady, so consistent, that doubt doesn't even have space to grow. Someone who doesn't leave you wondering if they meant what they said, or if they'll remember your birthday, or if they'll still want you when life gets messy. You deserve someone who doesn't just say they're in, they prove it. Every single day. And when I say you deserve that, I don't say it to make you feel bad about what you've settled for. I say it because I know how easy it is to forget your worth when you've spent so long being told, directly or indirectly, that you weren't enough, that you were too emotional, too intense, too much, that you scared people away. But here's the secret. You didn't scare them away. Your honesty did. Your depth did. Your refusal to play games did. And that's not a flaw, that's a gift. And the right person won't run from it. They'll run toward it. You don't need to post here. You don't need to write long messages into the void, hoping someone will finally see you. You don't need to live in the shadows of someone else's hesitation, in the limbo of we'll see, in the nothingness of a connection that never fully lands. Because when love is real, it doesn't live in the abstract. It doesn't exist only in texts or fantasies or what. It shows up in the everyday, in the way they save you the last bite of their dessert, in how they remember how you take your coffee, in the way they hold your hand when you're quiet, not because they expect anything but because they want to remind you, I'm here. And if they can't manifest that, if their feelings stay trapped in their mind, never making it to their actions, then no matter how deeply they claim to care, it doesn't matter. Because love isn't a thought. It's a verb. Something you do. And if they're not doing it, then they're not loving you. Not in the way that counts. That relationship you're holding on to? The one that lives in your head, in your dreams, in the stories you tell yourself late at night. It's not real. It's a fantasy. And fantasies are beautiful. They're safe, they're perfect, they never disappoint. But they also never hold you. They never wipe your tears. They never show up at your door with soup when you're sick. And the danger isn't in having the fantasy. The danger is in refusing to admit you're living in it. Because as long as you're clinging to the idea of who they could be, you're missing the chance to meet who they actually are. And more importantly, you're missing the chance to meet yourself on the other side of this. The self who doesn't need to beg for love. The self who walks away with dignity. The self who finally believes, deep in their bones, that they are worth more than uncertainty. You deserve someone who chooses you boldly. Not quietly. Not conditionally. Not when it's easy. But loudly. Publicly. Unapologetically. Someone who introduces you with pride. Who plans with you in mind. Who fights for you without being asked. Someone who doesn't just say they want a future. They build it with you, brick by brick, day by day. And when you really realize this, not just with your mind but with your whole being, something shifts. It's quiet at first. A stillness. Clarity. You stop checking your phone like it holds the answers. You stop twisting yourself into shapes to fit someone else's life. You start saying no. You start walking away. And in that space you create, the space they left behind, something incredible happens. The best shows up. Not because you were waiting. Not because you were begging. But because you became the kind of person who attracts the best. Not by chasing but by becoming. By healing. By choosing yourself over and over even when it hurt. And when they come, and they will come, you won't recognize them at first. Because they won't feel like a rescue. They won't feel like salvation. They'll just feel easy. Natural. Like breathing. Like coming home. They'll look at you like you're the answer to a question they didn't know they were asking. They'll love you not for what you can do for them, but for who you are. Messy, complicated, beautiful, whole. And you'll realize, this is what love was supposed to feel like all along. Not exhausting. Not confusing. Not a constant test of your worth. But safe. Steady. And you'll laugh, not because it's funny, but because you can't believe how good it can get. You thought your person was good. Just wait. Just wait until you meet the one who doesn't just love you, but honors you. The one who doesn't just stay, but chooses you every single day without hesitation. You'll look back at the years you spent waiting in the dark, and you won't hate them. You'll thank them. Because they taught you what you're capable of. They taught you your limits. They taught you that you'd rather be alone than small. That you'd rather be free than trapped in a love that only half exists. And you'll understand this was never about finding someone perfect. It was about becoming someone who no longer accepts anything less than real. So if you're listening to this right now and your heart is heavy and you're tired of being the only one trying, please hear this. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are not the problem. And you don't need to change. You just need to believe, truly believe that you deserve better. 'Cause you do. And when you do, the world will rearrange itself to meet you there.